Hello everyone. Well, I was requested to do this video, probably because the last Glamour video I did wasn't with the clear microphone like I've got now. So this is a video about Glamour, how to do it, as well as about storage and inventory space, since that was also asked. So I figured, why not just do both at once? Now, Glamour, for those who are familiar with it from Final Fantasy XIV, is a system where you can assign multiple outfits for yourself, as well as a team uniform if you are in a team, like mine's. Now, a few key differences about this Glamour system compared to Final Fantasy XIV is that you can wear what you want on whatever class you want. It is not class restrictive. You want to wear heavy, want to look like you're wearing heavy armor while playing a mage, you can do that. Want to wear a bunny girl outfit while playing a warrior? Yes, you can do that. It's pretty much limitless, and about 99% of all costumes are not gender specific from what I've seen. So you can wear effeminate clothing on a male character, vice versa, whatever you like. They give you that much freedom, and I have seen it. Now the way Glamour works is that all you really gotta do is put on the equipment that you want. Like, say for example, this. You then go to your Glamour menu. For me, I just have to hit Y using an Xbox controller. Brings up this menu, and then you can register the Glamour. You can also rename it, but you can only use Japanese characters. You can also edit the Glamour, like so. Put in what you like. Then you can pretty much edit it out from there. Obviously, I don't want to make any permanent changes, but that is the gist of it. It's very, very simple. You can also swap face accessories, like so. If you have multiple accessories up, you can pretty much do that. Either your main accessory or your off accessory. If you have it. The amount you can register is only this much, but I believe you can rent monthly an extra set of pages. You really have that much Glamour that you want to have saved to use at any time. Now, once you have registered the Glamour, you don't have to keep the items. You can store it, throw it away. Once it's registered to here, it is set. However, if you make any changes or delete anything, and you need to add it in again, you have to have that piece either in your equipment or worn to register it. You don't want to wear it. Obviously, just go to Edit Glamour, change outfit, pick the item you want. As long as it's in your inventory, you can change to it. Now, where can we start doing all this Glamour stuff? How can we really unlock all of its potential? Well, you can do it right here. Yes, the Puku little guys are the center of fashion. They are in this mistress territory. It's not hard to get to. Let's see here. Basically, gotta go from Windmill Way, Orphea Region West, town of Orphea. So you basically take a train to town of Orphea, go to Windmill Way, Then you go to this region, and you're here. Now let's go inside and show you Fashion Street, which is what it's called. Thanks to Clarity, not only is there no freeze tick anymore, because they pretty much human translated it all, so it's in Clarity itself, but now you get the menus translated too. Makes it much easier to figure it out. So this is Fashion Street. You also got a Culinary Guild, or offshoot of the Culinary Guild right here. You have your storage and market here, in case you need to purchase any dyes or anything in particular. Hair salon is right here. This is how you start your hair, basically your dyes quests. Pretty much any salon you go to, you can change your hairstyle and your hair color. So let's talk about that for a little bit, since it's kind of part of Glamour too. It's obviously going to show you in the equipment that you have on, not your Glamour, but you're not caring about that. You can also change your eye color. Now, since I have a shiny gloss on that you can only purchase from... I'm sorry. From the DQX shop, it's basically called Glossy Paint. I will always have this gloss, unless, of course, I get the Glossy Paint again and switch it back out. I have the highest gloss on, that's why my hair shines like this. There's 4 levels of gloss. Matte, which is your basic, light gloss, medium gloss, heavy gloss. It will consume 1 glossy rinse or glossy paint, depends on how your Google translates it on the Hiroba shop page. They're about 300-ish yen each, so about $1.80, I think, maybe around that. But with that, and of course, you don't have to use any flowers for this. Once you unlock a dye, you can use it for your hair eye color for free. No dyes required. You just need glossy rinse if you want to shine it up like mine's. And there's many hair colors to choose from. You unlock these through quests. You will find them in most of the 1.0 world area. Every town, city, and small hamlet, like this little offshoot outpost towns, is going to have an NPC there that has a quest for a particular dye. Once you reach the 2.1 area, there will be a quest line that will unlock many, many different dyes if you do them. I haven't done all of that one myself yet. I think I still have 1 or 2 more to go. I just didn't bother doing it because this is the hair color I tend to go with for nearly every character I make. Now then, we go here to the actual outfit shop. You will get a quest from this Tailor Pulpole. Complete it. It's very easy, and it should unlock everything. Now, to basically turn, let's say, your armor Actually, for example, to basically turn your weapon or shield into something else, you have to talk to Taylor Pulpul here. He won't do anything for you unless you take your glamour off. So you gotta take your glamour off to be able to do something. This will allow you to change your accessories, if you use them, weapons or armor, into something else entirely. Basically, a permanent change. Granted, you don't need to really do that with helmet, body armor, legs, gloves, whatever, because you could just use the glamour menu for that. My guess is before they introduced the proper glamour system, they had this base system, probably around the 1.0, 2.0 area, where if players wanted to change their equipment to something else, they had to go through this. But now, because you have the glamour system and all you have to do is just wear what you want, assign it, and then you can basically overlay it to whatever existing equipment you have. Okay, this is no longer needed for any of these, but you still need it for your sword and your shield. If you select your sword or shield, you can select another weapon similar to it. It's got to be the same weapon type. Dress-up cost is dependent on how high a level the weapon is. You can negate that cost with salon coupons, I believe. It can be a bit expensive for a beginning player. As you can see, I've got nearly 20 million gold, so it's really not much to me. But you can pretty much change your weapon and shield to whatever other thing you want. My sword, for example, was actually a curved fairy sword. I changed it to the Israel sword. Of course, there is a very special sword and shield I will get eventually that has a cool water flowing graphic to it. Explain more on that later. Now, to dye your weapons and armor, or no, to dye just your weapons and shield, you can't literally basically do it through the Dire Pipple. Dire Pipple will only do your armor. It's going to be, and he'll only dye the armor that's equipped. He will not dye your already worn glamours. And there are some armor that cannot be dyed, like my Yggdrasil set. Now, when you're ready to dye your armor, if it's going to be basically the armor that you're wearing to combat, or if it's going to be armor that you're going to be set to your glamour, and you want to dye it, you've got to wear it. If you have it assigned to your glamour menu, and then you threw away the equipment, or stored it, it's not going to work. He will only dye it if it's physically equipped to you. So, let's say a Demon King set. Oh, okay, that's an option I've never seen before, actually. Looks like now you can actually dye the glamour. Well, nice. I'm not sure when they've added that, but that's cool. Okay, so go back on what I said. Looks like now you can dye the glamour outright. So that's awesome. That's actually very convenient. So you don't have to worry about throwing away equipment or storing it anymore. As long as you have the glamour assigned and you're wearing it as your glamour layover, you can use the glamour dyeing to dye it instead. So you can basically do either one. If it's a Glamour layover, use Glamour dyeing. If it's equipment that you're currently wearing, you can use the equipment dyeing. However, keep in mind, some Glamour cannot be dyed. If it's got an X on it, it can't be dyed. This Glamour is extremely unique because I believe it is a set of popular, extremely high-end armor that comes from a Dragon Quest mobile game. It was in an event that I did for it. It also came with a sword and shield. I'm not using the shield because it looks kind of silly, but I do like the sword. So I'm using that. So that's convenient. I don't think I've ever noticed it there. Now, here's the question that everybody seems to ask. How do I dye my sword, shield, rod, staff, fists, whatever? Well, in order to do that, you need the alchemy pot. How do I get this alchemy pot that has the weapon and shield dyeing? To attain it, you have to go to the post office, I believe sometime after version 2.4, it was a long time ago. But you will get a letter from an NPC that is very, very close to you. Not going to spoil anything, but once you're past 2.4 and you're on 2.5, I believe, you need to check the post office and talk to, well, any post office really, and talk to the mail carrier a few times. They'll tell you that you have a letter. And it will come with this alchemy pot. Once you have it, you can then do weapon and shield dyeing as much as you like. For example, I want to dye the Sacred Sword. Just like with clothing, okay, you can dye it in two portions here. First layer like this. See how it's changing the embroidery on the hilt? And then the rest of it itself looks like the blade. It leaves the leather grip alone. Aqua and lettuce. But what if I want to make it shiny? You can do that. You just need glossy paint. Now, you also need the corresponding flour for that dye. You can buy pretty much all of them on the shop. Well, no, not on the shop, but in the marketplace. However, depending on the rarity of the dye will determine its price, and you need 10 of them. I know for a fact that the pure white dye and the pure black dye are the most expensive, because they only come from certain sources. Jet black, for example, find it down here, is not only a popular color, as well as pure white, but each one of these flowers can set you back 15 to 20k gold each. So that's about 120 gold per use of this dye. And if you wanted everything in jet black, well, now you need 20 of these flowers. And if you want to put gloss into it, now you need 2 pints of the glosses, or 2 bits of gloss. Now, one thing to keep in mind, gloss doesn't go away. If you decide to change the color of your weapon at a later time, for any reason, the gloss will stay. You don't have to use another glossy paint just to change the color again. It'll very much stay put. Now, if you can basically do this with a weapon at base or a weapon that's been glamored. So if you had like my fairy sword, well, no, more like, let's see. Here we go. A Scarlet Demon's Bane, for example. It has been glamored over with a special weapon from a super boss that's in a version 3. As you can tell from this, it looks completely different. Even if you have your weapon glamored over, you can still color the glamour. So you don't have to unbind it first, color it, then set it. You can pretty much set the glamour you want. In my case, the special sword. Glamour it over, then you can go ahead and change the dye on it. Now, special note. Okay, for this particular weapon, because of the special effect on it, it requires a unique flower. Basically, it needs diamond treasure flowers. The diamond treasure flowers themselves. You can buy these, but they are expensive as heck. Actually, I think I even have a few waiting in the post office for me. You can basically grow them. That's probably still in the office. You can pretty much grow them in your garden, but they are extremely rare. Or you can use the mobile app to increase the rarity by using gems, which you get about 30 each day. Sometimes you get more depending on the events. And you can also buy the gems, but that's been proving difficult. I haven't managed to figure out a way to buy gems yet because it's blocking me due to my region. Otherwise, you have to purchase the diamond treasure flowers through the shop, and they are expensive. Very, very expensive. But that's the only way you'll be able to dye special effects stuff like my blood sword. The other alternative, if you do not want to purchase the dyes at all and use your in-game gold, is to go to the DQX Hiroba shop and purchase colorful bouquets. You just need one for each dye part. So for my sword, that one I showed you for example, I needed 2. One for the standard black, jet black ink, and one for the blood effect. Basically saving me about, it was like 1.5 million gold just to get that special effect. Yeah, about there. Diamond treasure flowers are extremely rare. Quite a few players tend to sell them instead of use them, specifically because they are for that special effect. I also sell my diamond treasure flowers whenever I get lucky enough and grow any. Just for the heck of it, let's see what the price is right now for the diamond treasure flowers. Just gotta figure out where they are. Here it is. See if they're cheaper or expensive than I've last seen. Okay, they're a lot cheaper now. But you still need 10 of them. So you need about 10 of these. Comes to around 130 to 150k. I'm guessing it's a lot cheaper due to events that's been happening lately. Which is good. If you don't have that kind of gold or don't want to spend that kind of gold, go to the DQX Aroba shop and just buy colorful bouquets. You can actually get a discount on bouquets if you buy them in bulk. I think there's like a 10 bouquet option. And that is it for Glamour. Now, some has asked if there is a Glamour dresser like Final Fantasy XIV has. There is not, unfortunately. I know Final Fantasy XIV has far more potential storage space compared to EQX, but Final Fantasy XIV also has a tremendous amount more items, junk that just collects. Honestly, it's natural for many high-end players of Final Fantasy XIV to be constantly uh, micromanaging their inventory and all their storage space, because just doing their dailies and their weekly stuff, they're just going to get loaded with crap. I mean, when I'm running dungeons in Final Fantasy XIV, I always ignore the treasure chests from bosses because I don't need any equipment. I am maxed out on tokens, I am maxed out on reputation, I don't need it. But of course, other people are going to open it up, alright, and they're going to completely ignore it. They're not even going to roll on it. They're just going to let it just go to whoever it randomizes to, and it's a pain in the ass for me when I get any of it because I don't want it. So I have to be in a habit to pass on all those items whenever it comes up, which is annoying because I always play a paladin tank. I always assume my healer doesn't know how to play his class, so my head's always on a swivel, constantly taking tons and tons of mobs and healing myself, making sure that things proceed smoothly. So I sometimes forget to pass on the equipment. I have to move so fast. But since there is no dresser, your only option then is to store things in your storage boxes. Now, for storage, what I typically do is I rent a box. This one, for example, I had for a little while, but then I decided against it. This is the box you can get if you do the 5-character play pass, which I believe is about $8.99 a month from yen to USD conversion. But I didn't need it anymore. If I ever need it again, I'll open it up, but I only got junk in there. Like, none of this is worth anything to me, not even this War God build. This box I rent for about 220 yen per month, extra to my current subscription. This is a belt storage that is ever expanding. You can increase it constantly as long as you have present tickets. That's why it's imperative that on DQX day, you go get those present tickets so you can make your belt storage higher and higher. It's helpful if you have extra useful belts to store. This storage and this storage, you earn it through in-game. Basically, you do a quest, you'll get extra storage here. And then there's house storage. If you are a full version player, you can purchase a house. Well, no, actually, you can purchase a house even as a trial player. It's just that if you don't visit your house within 6 months, you lose it. But you don't lose your house storage. It just goes inert until you get a house again. House is very important. House gives you a storage of 110. Now, how that works is you get your house storage, but you also get a private storage inside the house itself by laying down a treasure box, giving you an extra 50 spaces. If you want more storage, you're going to have to basically rent it, kind of like the retainer system in Final Fantasy XIV. Again, it's about $1.10 a month for storage. So if this is your only MMO and you got plenty of money to go around and you don't care, go ahead and get like 5 or 6 storage boxes. But there is no dresser. Now, as for equipment that you can believe you can store or throw away, keep in mind there is tons and tons of storage space, over 200 slots for equipment that you can quest and get. As you go up in level, more storage space, well, more equipment space capacity quests will occur. To get those, well, for the inventory bag, you go to the Wina Isles, you go to Julette Town, and there is a well in the middle of the town. That is for your inventory space. You can get up to 90 slots, but it's level reliant. Those quests will not appear unless you get to the needed level to do it. Same for the equipment storage space, which I will show you right now. For the equipment storage space quest, you need to go to Luckland Island Stop, or just Luckland Island. You can go there via train or via Mega Zoomstone once you have locked the Mega Zoomstone. You unlock the Mega Zoomstone, the first one, in version 2.1. Providing that you have found enough normal Zoomstones to do it. I have a guide on that in another video. Now, once you're in Luckland, just go right into the castle here, go up the steps, and there she is. This NPC right here is the storage equipment expansion NPC. Whenever you reach a certain level, another one will pop up until you get all 200 plus spaces. Her quest line is a bit trickier compared to the item bag quest line. Hers is more involved, so you'll be spending some time getting through her quest line. Every time they release a new expansion, I've noticed, they increase inventory capacity by another 10 slots and equipment storage capacity by another 25 slots. Basically, they add another quest every time a new expansion comes out. Now, as for equipment to keep, what to store, that depends on your play style. Me, I try to sell all materials I find. I don't store my materials. I do, however, store equipment. And the equipment I store is max level equipment that I gotten from Zelmia or from Asolia Defense Force, or ones I purchased, crafted on the bazaar. You do not need to hold on to equipment. Not unless it is a vocation that you plan to play and actually do questing and main questing and content in. As you can see here, for my job levels, I have nearly everything at 100 plus. Just Pirate's going to take a little time because Angel Hat doesn't work on them. Then Monster Master basically levels itself up whenever I use it to either grind certain materials or do subjugation. I did not keep equipment for nearly all these classes. I just went with the Angel Slime hat, put on a weapon, and that's it. I do not get equipment for any of these because I do not use them to do actual content with. What I tend to do is I go on a class that I decide I want to level, and then I will run a book of bosses, Strong Boss, which I do every day, and Trial Gate, which I do once a week. And I just let my supports, which I usually go with a Priest, Demon, Swordmaster, and a Druid, and they pretty much do the fight for me while I watch Netflix. I don't even have to participate. If I am grinding, I go to a specific place that I would rather not spoil for you right now, but that place is accessible sometime after version 5.3. When I go there, I put on a metal perfume, and an experience orb, and a scroll if I decide I want to get one. And I just go into enemies and let my party members fight them. I don't put on any equipment, I don't buy any equipment, I don't clutter my inventory with equipment. The only equipment you will see in my storage spaces now is 115 plus equipment. Reason why is I will need them later on for Perfect Road, which is one of the extreme high end of content that is for completionists to get the absolute highest stats possible. It rewards you with basically stat seeds and skill books and other neat little trinkets. So, to answer your question on storage, if you are a crafter, yes, go ahead, use your storage spaces to store all the materials you find while on your journey. You'll find materials in black boxes, you will find them on the ground, you will get them from quests, store them, use them for crafting later on. If you decide you want to be an omni crafter or just a singular crafter, go for it. You can basically make equipment to sell, make some gold if that's your thing. Most crafters will use the crafting instance that you can access through your crafting guildmaster that allows you to temporarily purchase for free all the equipment and items you need to grind your crafting. It's tedious, but it's the most effective way to grind your crafts up without having to buy and find and use materials. But if you are not a crafter or you're not really into the crafting game, for me, I'm probably going to up my crafting just so I get fame levels and such. If you're not into it, sell the materials. Put them on the market. Vendor them if they're not worth putting on the market. That's how you make your gold. For most players, selling materials that they find while questing and adventuring around is how they make their gold. As for me, though, most of the gold I've been making lately, ever since the incident happened, has come from fishing and doing my orb dailies from the S-Warrior book. To be quite honest, if I really wanted to, I could go fishing for 8 hours, and I'll probably end up with 5 or 6 million more gold. My goal is by the time version 6.5 comes out, I'll have about 60 to 100 million gold, so I can buy an ultimate set of equipment, which I'm hoping is going to be that cover art armor, because it looks like a defensive set. So, to line it all up, Glamour, you go to Magistrate City. That's where you unlock nearly all the Glamour options. 2, if you want to be able to dye your weapons and shield, you gotta get past version 2.4. And then you receive the alchemy pot in the post by a postman at a post office, not in your mailbox. You gotta go to a post office to get that alchemy pot. Glamour can be expensive. Dyes can be costly depending on the dyes you pick, particularly for special effects, like my blood sword, or rune blade that is also popular. You'll need diamond treasure flowers, or you can go to DQX Heroba to purchase the dyes, the colorful bouquets that will dye it in one. 1 bouquet equals 10 flowers. You don't have to exchange anything. It'll just give you the option to use the bouquet when you're trying to dye it. Equipment storage. You go here to Luckland, go up the steps, go see the elf. That unlocks more storage space for you. Keeping equipment. You don't need to keep anything for vocations you do not plan to use in actual main story and side questing. Only keep, okay, for what vocations you do plan to use for that stuff. If it's a vocation that you're just going to level up for either stats or to do perfect road, you don't need any equipment at all. You can go completely naked, put on an angel hat until 99, and then after that, do whatever. But you can absolutely let your supports just grind for you, as long as you know where to grind. Alternatively, you can use the experience from main sub-questing, store them, and just put them on your vocations that way. There is no Glamour Dresser, like in Final Fantasy XIV, but you don't really need it. Once you've registered the Glamour to any entry in the page, it's there forever. Nothing will change it unless you make a change, in which case, if you do make a change and you need to change it back, you have to have that Glamour piece in your inventory to make that change, or just put it on the whole set and then register it. Again, you can register Glamour to register what you have on right now. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I will see you next time.